What up, what up, what up? Jay Marcell here. You've heard me use the term mental mathematics before. And what I mean by mental mathematics is there are different concepts, ideas, perspectives that are out there that lead you, and each one leads to a particular lane. Each one has its own strength. Each particular perspective, word, term, definition has its own path to a particular direction towards knowledge or awareness. So sometimes when you take one or two of them and put them together, though, it becomes a grander perspective. So this is why I call it mental mathematics, because you can take different concepts, ideas, perspectives, beliefs, mix them up, get them in their right order, mix them up, get them in their right order, and it comes out to be a grander picture, a more brighter or more a broader perspective on something in particular. So the last week or so, week and a half, I've been pondering over a couple of them. They wasn't meant to come out together or anything like that, but I understood after I really dwelled on them how they could relate to each other. And one of them is assumption. It came across my mind to get a clearer understanding of my assumptions. My assumptions, that which I believe will happen, that which I believe shall take place. I'm assuming this shall happen. My assumptions. All right. Another one was causation. Whatever's finishing manifesting in your life has a cause. It cannot come out to be an effect. It cannot come out to be an end product if it don't have a cause. So causation is the creation of the end effect, the effect at the end. So I said, okay, causation. I like that. Looked at that. And then just recently, one came across my mind.
Utilizing your rational, reasoning, logical mind. Yeah. Utilizing your rational, reasoning, logical mind.
So I said, yeah, I can see where that can have some value when you're using your rational reasoning mind, but how do they tie together? So as I began to try to put them in some kind of an order, it came out like this. In the first step, in utilizing your rational, reasoning, and logical mind, you have to say, okay, is there a time and a place for that? Yes, it is. As you're dealing with your everyday life, and as you're going on with your life, you want to use rational, reasoning, logical perspective to make your life come out better. That's natural. There's nothing wrong with that. We all should be thinking like that. We all see what happens to people who don't think like that. People who don't use their rational, reasonable, logical mind to do something before, to think about something before they actually do it. That can be a problem. So we understand the value of using your logical, rational mind. But then it was like, yeah, but when it comes to the things that you want to create, the things that you want to experience, the things that you want to be blessed by, the things that you want to manifest, you shouldn't use your logical, rational, reasonable mind for that. You should suspend your rational, reasoning, logical mind when there are things that are greater or things you want to transpire or happen in your life. You should suspend that, because that rational reasoning has its value in the physical world. It only relates to the physical world. In the spiritual realm, God's frequency, universe, and the mind, deep parts of the mind, anything and everything is possible. Anything and everything already exists. There is no question to that. It already exists. So if you're trying to create something in your life, or you like something that you have in your life, see it from that perspective. Know that there is a domain that's not here yet, that in which it already has happened. It already is. So if you take the first step and suspend, now understand the strength of when and not to use your logical, rational, reasoning mind. If you suspend it for a minute when it comes to something you want to achieve, then you will see that if you can get into the feeling and the thought process of that it already exists, them the first steps. So then you go into your assumptions. Your assumptions going to change. What you assume that's going to take place is going to change, because now you're looking at it from a bigger perspective. You're looking at it from a domain and a place in which it already is. So your assumptions change and get bigger, therefore altering the cause of something. Therefore altering the causes. The causes follow the assumptions. Because once the causes, what's making when it finally get here, what made it that? What caused it to be? Oh, it was the first thought of putting it in a domain in which it already is. Coming from there, that's the beginning part of the causation. Up there, from the very beginning, I put in a domain where it already is, God realm, whatever domain, the heavens, universe, whatever you want to call it. I've already understood that in that arena, what I think and wish would require to come out or manifest, it's assured to be there. It changed my assumptions. I started to assume like, yeah, that could be. I started to get into the dream of it. You already know about imagining. We've been over that and we'll go over it again. Start to dream and imagine, because my assumptions changed. Like, yeah, I can see that. Therefore altering the causes and creating a better effect. So when I put those three together, I got a pretty good a lineup on how I can use another thought process on how I can utilize. Now I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be real with you about this. I'm gonna be honest. Some things that you want to transpire, they don't transpire overnight. They all got their due date. They all have their due date. We don't know that due date. All we know is to keep on. All we need to stay in the mind frame of it is. It already is. And dream and imagine and get into assumptions that, yeah, that's going to be. That already is. It ain't going to be. That already is. And then the causes. You'll see the causes come out. But you got to think. How you've been thinking already, you've been thinking like that for 30, 40, 50 years. So now, and you create a momentum. Everything you experience is designed behind what you created the momentum of all those years. Now, if you're trying to reverse or make a turn and do different like what we're talking about, then it takes a minute to get that shift to turn. You go that way, stay that way, and build up a rhythm for that. So sometimes your manifestation is going to have a certain due date on when they come out, but rest assured they all come out right and on time. They come out so slick that you don't even know you thought it would have just happened anyway. They come out so slick. But this is a mystical, magical reality anyway, so we'll get into that later on down the line too. But I just wanted to give y'all a little something on these things that I've been pondering over for the last week and a half. Sorry it took so long, but this whole taking these three concepts, putting them together and coming up with a grander perspective. Knowing when to suspend your rational, reasonable, and logical mind, and when to utilize and when to suspend it. Therefore, in turn, it creates a different assumptions. It changes your assumptions, so you start to, yeah, because coming from there, that's assured. Coming from there, your assumptions, then you go into your causations. Yeah, that's how it came about, because of all of that right there, causation. So I just wanted to hit you out with that. You know my slogan. It's the same. Mind over matter. Because matter don't matter.